Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is KBellaBeauty, and today I'm going to be filming the palette bingo or bingo palette challenge, whatever it's called. I have seen Kayla Aston here on YouTube post several of these videos, and she was actually the first person that I saw to post it, the first person that I'm subscribed to that came up in my feed with this type of video. But I know that she said that EmilyNoel posted it. I want to say it was like a long time ago, like a year ago or something. It might even be longer. But EmilyNoel, I think, was the original creator of this video, and after Kayla mentioned that in her video, I watched Kayla's video, I watched EmilyNoel's video. I will link both of their videos down below, and Kayla has actually gone on to do several palette bingos with different palettes, so it's been really fun to watch. And so I decided that I wanted to film it too. I wanted to pick a palette out of my collection and film this palette bingo for you guys. So I'm actually going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. I decided I wanted to use this palette because there are a lot of shade options in this palette. It's a palette that I really, truly love and enjoy, but you can kind of get several different looks out of this palette. So the way that I've seen Kayla do it is she normally picks around 4 shades, and she'll use a random number generator. She'll number her shades, she'll choose 4 numbers, and then those are the shades that she has to use on her eyes, but she can use other shadows. However, when I did watch Emily's video, she chose 5 different shades, B-I-N-G-O, 1 shade for each letter. So that's what I'm gonna do. I actually have this little box here, and there are 35 eyeshadows in this palette here. So basically I'm gonna number it 1 through 7, 8 through 14, 15 through 21, 22 through 28, and then 29 through 35. So that's how they're numbered. I have already cut up some paper. I have the numbers all written down in here. So I'm gonna pull out 5 shades. Those are the shades that I have to use on my eyes, but I can use other eyeshadow shades in this palette. So if you are interested in seeing what look I come up with, go ahead and keep on watching. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick out 4 pieces of paper. Some of them I think are stuck together, and I'm not gonna look at them until I have all 5 out. I think I said 4. I'm pulling out 5. So there's 2. This is gonna be really interesting. There's 3. Here's 4. Some of them are sticking together. And here's 5. Okay, so let me open up my palette here and let's see what we have. The first number that I pulled out was 19. So if this is 1 through 7, 8 through 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that's this shade here, and this is the shade Jax. I'm looking at the little card that has all of the names. So this is the shade Jax, and not bad. This is a shade that I use a lot. It's nice to kind of deepen up the crease or the outer V. The next number is, let me hold it up here, number 12. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Interesting. Right above Jax, you have Hunts. So Hunts is definitely a little bit more orange, and Jax is a little bit more red, but those 2 shades will go together nicely. Then you have 14, which would be this shade on the end. This is the shade Queen. This is a very pretty gold shade. And so far, I would say that those 3 shades would go together. Then we have 27. So if this is 8 through 14, 15 through 21, 16, what am I saying? 22 through 28. So 27 would be this brown shade right here. That is the shade Chip. Again, it would just be a nice shade to use maybe as like a liner or something. Still, we are going together nicely. And then I do have 34, and so 34 is this one right here. So I kind of thought it would have been interesting if we had some of these like colorful shades, but it looks like we are going in with Hunts followed by Jax. We have Chip right here. This one right here is, nope, this one. This one right here is Soda Pop, and then queen. So I'm glad that I have like all mattes and a lid shade. But I feel like that's gonna be kind of easy to create. So it just so happened that I picked some good shades. Let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. So I am gonna go ahead and prime my eyes, and I'm gonna use my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. I like this one because it does have a tint to it, but it's also still creamy enough that it doesn't accentuate like my eczema that I get on my eyelids sometimes. I used to love MAC's Soft Ochre Paint Pot, but after using it for a while, my eyelids just got super duper dry, and I did get some eczema. I want to say it was like last year. I seriously couldn't wear eyeshadow for like months on end because my eyelids were so dry. So I switched it over. I've been trying this out and it's been working out nicely for me. Now I can use other shades in this palette. Those are just the 5 shades that I have to use. So I'm gonna go in with this guy right here, which is in light. And the only thing that I wish this palette had that it doesn't is like a matte highlight shade. You'll see, so I'm using this to kind of set the concealer all over my eyes, but I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it does have like a little bit of a sheen. It's not a shimmer, it's more just like a satin finish, but I like to set my eyeshadow primer just because it's a little bit tacky when you first put it on, and I want my shades to blend nicely. So I don't know, I mean, this works. You can get a look with this palette that is complete, and I do find that it has all of the shades that I need, but both of these first 2 shades here have like a little bit of a sheen, so it just would have been nice if one of them was matte. Now for the crease, I typically go in with these 2 shades here, and this one is in Silk Cream, followed by MFEO. I don't remember what that means. I'm sure Jaclyn talked about it in her video on the palette, but I just kind of go back and forth with both of those, and these 2 shades will create like a nice transition shade for me. It just helps blend all of my eyeshadows together, because you typically want to go in with a transition shade that's going to be similar to your natural skin tone, because it'll help all of the other shades that we're about to put on blend a lot nicer. Okay, so let's go in with one of our required shades. I'm going to start with this orange shade, Hunt. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and put it kind of through the crease. This brush that I grabbed might have been a little bit too fluffy, but that's okay. This is the Wet n Wild P20 brush. These Wet n Wild brushes are really nice, but this brush is maybe a little bit fluffier than I would have liked, but it's still gonna get the job done. That's okay. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with the shade right below it, which is Jax, and this one has a little bit more of like a red undertone, and I'm going to take the Morphe Y19. It's a little bit thinner than the brush that I was using by Wet n Wild, and I'm just going to kind of focus this in like the outer half of my eye, but I am going to take it up a little bit into the crease, but I want to keep it more so on the outer part. That's where I want the darkness and definition to be. Since we just have some darker shades in our lid shade to go, I am going to go in with this shade right here, Chip. And again, that was one of our required shades, and I'm just going to pack this right here on the very outer V. I'm not really taking this one up into the crease. I just want to pack it right on the outside to give some definition. And then the deepest shade that I have to use, which I think is called Soda Pop, I think I'm going to just kind of run that one on the lower lash line. I thought about maybe putting it on the upper lash line, but I might just leave that one for the lower lash line. So I definitely want to blend out what I got going on here. So I'm going to take a little bit more of Silk Cream, and this is just on my fluffy E40 tapered blending brush. And I'm going to use that just to kind of blend and diffuse the outer edges of my eyeshadow. That way it just looks like a nice blended eye look. I don't really want any harsh lines going on there, and this look is pretty orange, pretty red, but as long as I blend everything out, I think it'll look okay. I actually think I'm gonna go in with a little bit more Hunts and put that through the crease. Somewhere along the lines, I feel like this eye look started looking a little bit pinky, so if I throw a little bit more Hunts in there, it might make it look a little bit warmer. I don't really want it to look pinky. I don't know if it was the mixture of Hunts and Jacks that made it look a little bit pinky, but I definitely want to throw some more of that orange in there. Okay, so we do have 2 more shades that I need to use, and it is Queen right here and then Soda Pop down here. So I'm gonna take Queen and put that all over the lid. Now, when I'm using any kind of foiled shade, I always use Fix Plus just because I feel like it gives me a little bit more of like a pop and some more pigmentation. But I'll go in first without Fix Plus so that you can see what the pigment would look like. And then I'll go in on the other side with Fix Plus just so that you can tell if there's any difference. But my brush is totally dry right now, and you can see that I'm getting a really good amount of pigment there. And if you don't have Fix Plus or setting spray and you don't want to use water or whatnot, I find that using your finger is also another really good way to make the eyeshadow pop. So now I've added Fix Plus to my brush, and I'm going to put that on this lid right here. And honestly, with Queen, I really don't see that much of a difference. It does look a little bit more foiled, but if you're asking me, I think this looks really nice too. You do just get a little bit more of a foiled look if you add some Fix Plus, but I don't know. I think it looks good. But I do want to even the sides out, so I am going to add Fix Plus to this side now. So I want to deepen the outer V a little bit more, so I'm going to grab a little bit more of chip right here and just press that into the outer V. And I'm just going to press it more so than rub it, just to kind of deposit the shade right there. Now going on to the lower lash line, I do want to take this shade right here, which is called Pooter. Very interesting name. And I'm going to take just a pencil brush. Mine is from Sigma, and before I go in with a deeper shade, I just kind of want to run that on the lower lash line, and then I'm going to go in with that darkest shade and use it to kind of line right underneath my lashes. But I like to put some kind of brown underneath first because that kind of helps blend everything together and makes the look more complete, if you ask me. And then with my Morphe Y21, I am going to reach into the last shade that I need to use for this palette bingo, and that's this one right here in Soda Pop. And I've actually never used it before, but when I'm looking at it, it looks very, very, very deep, and it almost looks like, I don't know, like it has like a little bit of like a purple undertone or something. I don't know, I've never used it before. Okay, so I'm just going to press this, ooh, that's dark, on the very outer part of my lower lash line. I don't want to take it in, I'm just gonna kind of press it in, and then I'll blend it out with that pencil brush. And then I'm going to go in with that Pooter shade again and just kind of blend it out so it doesn't really look like a harsh line, but that it just gives some darkness to that outer corner. The last step I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade right here, which is Beam, and I'm going to just dip my pinky into it and use that to highlight the inner corner. So this is what the final look looks like when you just have mascara on. And I feel like I kind of had it easy with this palette. I didn't know what shadows I was gonna have to use, and I was a little bit nervous because I'm not a makeup artist, so I didn't know if I was gonna be able to create a full look, but I feel like the numbers that I picked, the shadows that I picked, were actually pretty easy to create a look with, and I really do like this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off camera real quick. I'm gonna add some lashes and a lip, and then I will close out the video. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I am wearing Kylie Cosmetics Velvet Liquid Lipstick in Naked, I believe, in case you wanted to know what was on my lips, because I know that's a question I get a lot when I do tutorials. But this is it. This is the look that I created using the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. I thought the palette bingo was really fun. I was surprised that I got colors that were kind of easy to put together. I guess I didn't know what to expect, but I ended up with all mattes and one shimmer shade, so it worked out perfect for me. I had a really fun time doing this palette bingo, but again, I will have Kayla's video and EmilyNoel's video down below if you're interested in checking those out. Otherwise, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed on your way out. I am posting 3 videos a week. One usually goes up on either Monday or Tuesday at 5 p.m. CST, Wednesday at 5 p.m. CST, and Saturdays at 11 a.m. CST. So as long as you're subscribed, you will be notified when I upload to YouTube. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!